Hello friends, welcome back to another day. I have a mess. Last night I finished sealing our countertops. I did that in the previous video. Actually, not totally. I still need to do this area here, but in the kitchen area. And so I did not clean up after dinner. So this is what it looks like. So, and my sink is full as well. So I need to clean up the kitchen, do one more final wipe down of the counters. I can also, the backsplash has been curing or whatever long enough so I can wipe them down and decorate, which will be great. We'll just put the stuff back out because I've got stuff like all over here that's just been thrown there. My desk stuff needs to be put back over in that area. I've got more just stuff here. So I need to get my kitchen back in order and I'm excited to be able to do that. And then I've been charging batteries. And so I need to change some of these and then get more of them charging. I don't know, every week, 10 days or whatever, I change out the batteries. I have a bunch of battery operated stuff. So we invested in the rechargeable batteries and I'm so glad we did, but I need to take care of that as well. I'm gonna do that first, I think, and then I'll get to the kitchen. I'm gonna come clean here, tell you something I just did. So I have my pot with orange peels and cinnamon sticks from yesterday that I usually can use it like a couple days in a row. So I turned that pot on, put on some more water, walked away, kept smelling dinner from yesterday. And I was like, well, I do have dirty dishes out. That's probably it. Nope, I had accidentally turned this burner on and this was sitting on top. Yeah, so thankfully I didn't cause this to explode or start a fire or whatever. Hopefully I can get that clean, but I just put on the correct burner. I need to get my kitchen cleaned up. It's not a good idea to have extra stuff at the stovetop. Finally, kitchen back to normal. I didn't get everything put back on the desk yet because this is still drying, but I cleaned it and I sealed it. And then I can get my dining room table back because that's where the remainder of the stuff is. I need to get some more adhesive for the clips to hold all of our cords up. So I will put those on my list and pick them up later this week. And then I can clean up the cords. But other than that, it's done. All right, so it has been a little while. I went and took cleaned the shower and took a shower. I find it easier to clean the shower and rinse it off and then just take a shower because water just gets everywhere trying to do that. Did some laundry. I don't know if you can hear it dripping. I filled up my Berkey with some water, so that's filtering now and that makes a nice little drippy noise. But I'm sitting down for a snack. I cut up this apple and I have some more of this hot chocolate dip left. I mentioned this in a previous video. I didn't actually show you making it because I made it for a party and I wasn't able to film it, but I had some left over. And I also mentioned in the previous video that I put this in my hot chocolate and that's pretty good too. So I will try to remember to leave a link for that dip, but it is so good. You can eat it with apples or with like graham crackers or vanilla wafers. I think it would be really good with, what was I gonna say? Oh, with strawberries. I think that would be really good because of the chocolate. Anyways, I'm gonna sit down, have a snack, and then we'll move on. All right, so I'm having a cup of hot chocolate and I've been wanting to make my own hot cocoa mix, so I figured I might as well share it with you because it's really easy to do. I've got this pretty jar. This is actually a peach jar from Aldi. I'm gonna start with 1 cup of powdered sugar or confectioner sugar. I'm using a smaller measuring cup though because it'll be easier to get in the jar, but you want 1 cup. Hopefully you can hear okay. My dishwasher's going and I feel like my dishwasher's pretty loud. Just a slightly messy job. And then we want a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. I almost feel like I should have done a bigger jar. All right, now I want a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, although that is optional. I'm gonna use a fork to stir it up. I use a fork to stir things a lot, but I think it'll also help break up any clumps. Probably should have been done in a larger container, but it'll look pretty stored in this jar. All right, I'm gonna try putting the lid on and shaking it up to finish mixing it up. One thing I did not think about before making this particular recipe is this particular recipe has to be made with hot milk, not hot water. So I'm gonna warm up some almond milk. I'm hoping this works okay with almond milk. I mean, most things that I do work okay with almond milk, but next time I make some hot cocoa mix, I'm gonna find one that uses dried milk in it so that I can have the option of using it in milk or water. And you want 2 to 3 tablespoons. You want 2 tablespoons for like 8 ounces, but a lot of times the mugs are a little bit more than that, so you may need a little bit more. Sometimes I like to add a little bit of vanilla creamer just for fun, and it'll help cool it down just a little bit. I don't know about you, but hot chocolate becomes a fairly regular treat around Christmas and maybe just through the winter. We'll see. I may just have hot tea sometimes, but I love a good hot chocolate treat. I got my stuff put back on my desk so I can actually sit here and work on my computer instead of working on the couch, which I know is not good for me and does not help my physical needs that my chiropractor is trying to help me with. So I'm gonna sit down with my hot chocolate and just finish up a video real quick. And then we'll see what we end up doing for a dinner tonight. Didn't have a strong meal plan, so we'll see what we come up with. All right, so I decided to go for a super easy dinner for tonight. We're gonna do pan-fried burritos. I've got some rice that is finishing up right now. I pulled out some ground beef from the freezer. It was already cooked and unseasoned. Some of it had onion in it. I pulled out more than I needed to, but we'll just use it for something later this week because I don't wanna refreeze it. But whenever I have a recipe where I'm cooking the ground beef and I have some that I don't need, I try to not season it so I can use it for whatever I want and then put it in the freezer. And tonight was a perfect opportunity for that. So I just need to finish thawing it. It's mostly thawed, but heat it up in the microwave and add in some water and taco seasoning. All right, I do like to have my meat and rice hot because it does not cook for very long in the pan. So that's why I'm doing this. Normally you might have just cooked it up anyway. And I need to make more taco seasoning, which is kind of annoying because I'm ready to put the burritos together, but I guess I can show you the recipe I use. All right, this is a super, super easy recipe. We need a 1/2 cup of chili powder. That is a 1/4 cup because it's a little bit easier to pour it in. And I need another one. After making this, I'm going to need to add some spices to my list. This looks way different than that other one, but they're both chili powder. All right, a 1/4 cup of onion powder. Just realized this camera angle may not be the greatest, but I'm really cooking, so no do-overs. And an 1/8 cup of cumin. Let's see if I have an 1/8 of a cup left. That's gonna be pretty close here. I need a tablespoon each of salt, tablespoon of paprika. I think this one's almost done too. Goodness gracious. I feel like whenever I'm making a recipe to share with you guys, I'm like running out of everything. I do have extras. This is why I always keep extras on hand. But all right, so a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of paprika, and a tablespoon of garlic powder. I'm just gonna shake this up. And even with me having to open up a bunch of new things, that still took me less than 3 minutes. And this is several packets worth of taco seasoning. All right, back to our quick and easy dinner. Seasoning up our ground beef so that we got some taco meat. I don't usually measure that, but I think 2 to 3 tablespoons is about equivalent to 1 package. And we're gonna go ahead and assemble these. All right, I have a skillet heating up over medium heat, and I'm gonna just put some avocado oil in there. That's my oil of choice for this, but goodness gracious, I'm making a mess. This is what happens when you try to do something quick. I've got a large burrito, large tortilla. These are the burrito size. That's a little too much cheese, okay. If this is a new package, so they're pretty, they're still very soft, but if you have some that have been open for a little bit, if you put them in between 2 paper towels and put them in the microwave for like 10 seconds, they'll soften up and make it really easy to roll them up. My key is to make sure I don't overfill them. We're just gonna do the cheese, the taco meat, and some rice. You could put beans in, close it up, roll it up nice and tight, which is easy to do if you don't overfill it. Put it in the pan face down. As you can see, I didn't do them even. This one's shorter and fatter, but that's okay. I'm just gonna let them go till they're golden brown, flip them over, same thing on both sides. That's it. Very easy, especially if you're just using like leftovers, if you have leftover taco meat, or actually any meat, leftover chicken, whatever you want. Leftover rice, it's a great way to use some leftovers, and they taste really, really good. All right, and I just serve it up with some cut up lettuce and tomato, sour cream, and I sprinkled a little bit of this chili lime seasoning on top because I enjoy that. And that's it. That's our dinner tonight. I'm incredibly bad at ending videos. So, next day. Hope you enjoyed the video though. Easy dinner, hot chocolate recipe. Tried to include some fun stuff in there for you. So I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe. I would love to have you be a part of my YouTube family. And I will see you next time. Bye guys.